Online, follow us, kzoz.com. You can catch the podcast there. Subscribe to the podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google, all that fun stuff. Go to kzoz.com. Click on the Jeff and Jeremy page. We got all the access points right there for you. So
you get a blast from the past, a personal blast from the past on the comment section of Facebook. I have a friend who, it's so weird. We used to go on these trips in our 20s, and he would bring his son with him everywhere that we went. I mean,
Kyle.
We would go to bars, and
Kyle's kid was cool.
Riley would come walking into the bar. It would just be the weirdest thing in the world. But we would go to Tahoe all the time. And Kyle writes in, he goes, you could be just like my son and say to Jeremy, I can smell your teeth from here.
You told him to say that, you dick. I remember you told him to say that.
I don't think we did. That's what made it so funny.
No, you told him to say that. I think that's what made
it so funny. When he said it, because it's like a 5-year-old saying this to you.
Well, you used to say stuff like that to me all the time. Like your teeth stink. You'd say stuff like that all the time. I can smell your teeth from here.
Right. Riley ended up turning out to be a really good kid.
Because you knew that I never got braces, and it bothered me.
A really good adult, I should say.
Yeah. It's really funny.
DL, right?
This kid was always. Do you remember the time he jumped off the top rope?
Yeah, that's what I did in the response. I was like, oh yeah, then he could jump off the top of a booth in Tahoe Diner. We're at some like pizza place in Tahoe, and Riley, Jeremy's like drunk, and he's rolling around on the floor with like a bag of Cheetos, just being silly. And all of a sudden, here comes Riley coming flying in off the top turnbuckle.
I was?
Yeah, you were a litted bit intoxicated. God, it was so funny. And then, I think what happened was somebody pushed you out of the booth. You fell over.
Yeah, and then he jumped on top of me. That's exactly what happened.
That was great stuff. Anyways.
Most people say there's no subtle way. It's tough because it's you, especially in today's day and age. You could offend somebody and lose your job.
Yeah.
Did you John specify this has to be at work or?
John said it depends on the line of work that you're in. Yeah. DL. He says you can always ask if it's a girl. This is terrible. I'm not even going to repeat that. You can read it on our Facebook if you want.
You can always ask her if she's been cooking.
No.
Gosh.
We're not doing.
What did you say? Ouch.
Lorea writes in. She says she's been in this situation. She worked with a guy who would either never wash or change his chones. Chonies being underwears, Captain Underpants, or he never showered, or both. I could smell him from 25 to 30 yards away. That means like when Cam Newton was experiencing his arm troubles towards the end of the season, he couldn't even throw a pass to how far this guy would be throwing his scent.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
If I walked by him, the density of the smell would literally smack me in the face. Couldn't figure out how to tell them. It's a tough one. No, that's what we're trying to figure out this morning. We're trying to figure out the best way to do it. I say the best way to do it is go buy some soap. And like Jennifer writes in, she says, buy them a bar of soap and deodorant. But you can't just say, okay, you know what? Here's a bar of soap and here's some deodorant, because that's like giving somebody a piece of gum. Hey, you want a piece of gum? As soon as they come walking up to you. Like, you can't just be that obvious about it. Yeah. You have to be like, I got this as a gift. I can't use it.
No,
I
think you got to be, you got to pull them aside and go, hey, you stink.
No.
Somebody said that.
No, because it ruins your relationship moving forward.
Well, maybe I don't want to be friends with this person. They stink, man. Bryson says,
Heartless.
tell him to take a shower.
Heartless. John
says it depends on the line of work you're in. You brought that up.
You are heartless.
And let's see here. Oh,
terrible person.
Tim says, wash your butt. Oh, you got swamp ass? See, my stepdad, he would have swamp ass, and he would just lay around and not, shower. So I'm like, dude, you stink, like cigars and butt. So you need to go. But I guess that's family. That's a little bit different. 805-543-3693. It's on Facebook at Jeff and Jeremy. Twitter.
Family can tell each other that they stink.
There's got to be a better way that you can actually tell somebody and still keep somewhat of relationship.
Would that be constituted as harassment if I bought or gave somebody the gift of soap? I mean, let's say this person,
it's a gift, no.
Let's say this person is super litigious. Okay, let's say they're not only stinky, but they stink as a human being with the ethics.
What if you just walked by him and made a stinky face and went, oof?
Is that harassment? Because when I read this list down of everything everybody's commenting on Facebook, that's all harassment type stuff. It really is.
DL's being you can't say
right.
that.
You can't. There's no DL
Can't make
would
reference to
be
a type of
in
species.
HR, probably filling out paperwork, and they would be called exit papers.
Yeah. Maybe the best thing to do, and I hate being this soft, is you have to go to a manager or your HR representative and say, hey, you know what? Jim stinks. And I want to tell him, but I don't want to, break any rules here. Maybe you could tell him, maybe we got to come up with a plan here because it's making it to where I don't want to come to work. You can let us know what you think. 805-543-3693.